Okay, here we are with Britt versus Jeff in a makeup game, which is why I believe Jeff has Barraskewda, a Pokemon he would later end up dropping. Britt coming in with Arctovish, Kartana, Weezing, Slowbro, and Rotom-Heat and Comfey versus Pelipper, Mega Swampert, Latias, Barraskewda, Ferrothorn, and Ludicolo. Now, as we know, Jeff is going to be running a rain team, using Pelipper and Ludicolo to call in rain with Drizzle and Rain Dance. Britt has a pretty good collection of answers to this. One, Arctovish, an ice type with, I assume, the ice move that's super effective against water types. I forget the name of it at the moment. Freeze Dry or something? I forget. Kartana, a grass type Ultra Beast, and Rotom-Heat, which is electric. So Jeff's gonna have to play a little bit fast and loose on this, especially because Rotom-Heat also pretty good against Ferrothorn. Now, I think one of the last games I watched Jeff play, a big problem he had was when he sets up and when he commits to using Pokemon for attacking. He just has to be a little bit more, oh my god, this has noise. Okay, now it doesn't. There were a few times where it would have been really good to switch in Swampert for Mega Swampert while Rain was running, and Jeff elected not to do that. So here we are with a Dragon Psychic Latias coming up against a Water Psychic Slowbro. Now, hopefully there's some sort of super effective move getting ready to come out, because there's not a whole lot that can be answered by Britt. Britt doesn't really have anything that's going to be resisting Psychic. A Psychic move's actually going to be pretty good, and honestly, kind of the same thing with an Electric move. Maybe switching into Rotom-Heat's not going to be the best, but then your Dragon Psychic is just coming out strong. Now, the last time we saw this Latias, it was choiced, and it had Thunderbolt and, like, Psychic, and I think that's all we saw from it. In comes Pelipper with the Drizzle, and in comes Trick Room. The basic setup that we were expecting to see from this Slowbro since day one. I think this is the first game I've seen in this league where Britt's actually used Trick Room with his Slowbro. Some good and bad news with that. The good news is Jeff does have some slow Pokemon. Bad news is the whole way his team works is that he makes his slow Pokemon move faster. Out comes Ferrothorn, and out comes Arctovish. Now, if I'm not mistaken, sending in the poison type that resisted the body press coming from Ferrothorn. I think Weezing can learn Flamethrower. I don't entirely know, but I don't know if you switch out Ferrothorn out of fear of Hidden Power Fire. I think you just look up if Weezing knows any flame moves. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I guess you keep Ferrothorn in here because he can't get hit by any poison. Will-O-Wisp does come out. I guess that's a fire move that would really hurt Ferrothorn. Pretty good to have a Psychic-type Pokemon out against a pure Poison type. Latias is super effective against it, ends up shooting out Psychic and deals 40% damage to the Comfey. Comfey then gets healed up by its leftovers. So now it's going to take, it would have taken 3 hits anyway. So not entirely sure if you keep the Psychic out. Maybe you switch back to Ferrothorn. because I'm pretty sure the Latios is Scarfed. Unless Jeff's changed it up, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but I don't know exactly. In comes Ferrothorn. This is kind of what I thought. Eats the Draining Kiss. Good, good, good. You definitely don't want to keep the Dragon type out against a Fairy type. Switching it to Steel, resisting some of that Fairy type move. And now maybe Ferrothorn has Gyro Ball, but maybe not. Maybe it only has Body Press. Oh no, the switch to Ludicolo. This is great. Trick Room's now gone. Ludicolo probably has Swift Swim and has one turn with Rain to really do something. Like a really solid water type move, or a really solid grass move if you're predicting a switch. Not entirely sure what you do here is Britt. Maybe his Weezing has Thunderbolt. I know Weezing Galar can learn a electric move, but I'm not entirely sure if normal Weezing can. Yeah, I don't know. In comes Latios to eat the Flamethrower. Alright, I thought Weezing might have something like that. It makes sense. I don't know why in my head it makes sense that Weezing knows Flamethrower, but in my head it does. Really good switch. Eats the Psychic by switching into Slowbro. Now Jeff has to switch Latios out again, and Slowbro gets a free Trick Room. If I'm Jeff, I'm putting back Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn, as the slowest Pokemon on his team, probably going to outspeed everything on, yeah, actually going to outspeed everything on Britt's team. So, pretty good. Pretty good to have Ferrothorn out. If you're predicting the Trick Room switch. Nothing's slower than Ferrothorn in the game. Or in this match, anyway. Trying to see... Honestly, Pelipper also looking pretty good. Weezing goes first. Yeah, this actually isn't bad. He's putting down Rain, and he's going to switch into Ferrothorn. And you probably expect Britt to then switch into Weezing, so maybe... This is where things make it a little bit tricky. In comes Arctovish, in comes Ferrothorn, fantastic. And now we have a repeat. And I think this looks pretty good for Jeff. I'm gonna come out and say it. Say it looks pretty good for Jeff. He's got a burned Latios, not great. Britt's got a slightly injured Slowbro and a slightly injured Comfey. But Jeff is continuously able to get Rain down. His Ferrothorn is way faster. Britt's going to have to switch out Arctovish, which he does for Weezing. Oh no, the Leech Seed missed. That's brutal. Actually brutal. Now, based off of some of like Jeff's earlier plays with this team, I can kind of expect the switch into Barraskewda to eat some damage. He doesn't want to get Flamethrowered. He's really afraid of it. Britt kind of tried to get a sick Flamethrower hit on Jeff earlier, and Jeff kind of had a same situation that James did when he used this team, and that was using Seismitoad as like a sacrifice, where they would, when they needed a safe switch, they would just send out Seismitoad to take the damage and then switch to something else. Oh, dang! Jeff not reacting at all. Britt trying to play Jeff. Jeff not falling for the bait. And now we have probably a Volt Switch coming out, if not another Fire-type move. So if Jeff's got something sick up his sleeve, like a... I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what Jeff could have up his sleeve. It might be worth keeping Ferrothorn in, but it doesn't look like he does. Eats the Hidden Power Ice, most likely. And now Trick Room's over and Mega Swampert's here. Britt did not bring his Mega to this fight. So it's just Mega Swampert. There's no Mega Pidgeotto on the other side. Pidgeot on the other side. Just Mega Swampert. And you already have him out, and I think you're just gonna outspeed the world here. You can only take fire damage, or you get hit by that other hidden power move, but I think that's totally fine. I think you just come in swinging. At least that'd be my thought process. But if you don't think you're gonna one-shot, if you didn't bring a move that's gonna deal neutral damage at the very least to Rotom-Heat, then maybe you just get out of dodge and you just switch out Swampert for something else. Not a bad read from Jeff, probably expecting Volt Switch or something. So he switched in Swampert, but really good read from Britt to put whatever that move was. Hidden Power Ice? Maybe? Grass? Hidden Power Grass? I guess it'd have to be Hidden Power Grass, right? Alright, Jeff doesn't risk it. He sends in Ludicolo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we do here. What's nice for Ludicolo being out right now is Britt can just do some poison-type move and really give him the business. Oh my god, Ludicolo hits him with the Weather Ball. Ludicolo does have Swift Swim and will be faster. So I think that it does make perfect sense to maybe just use Weather Ball again. And just leave Wheezing in the dust. Though I think it's totally reasonable for Britt to have just kept in Wheezing and used Sludge Bomb. Weather Ball did mad damage, 77%. Holy cow. I don't know what Weather Ball's accuracy is. But, I mean, if it's 100% accuracy, then you just go again. What does Britt switch into? Rotom-Heat? Potentially. He sends in Arctovish, who absorbs the Weather Ball. Now we're in a little bit of a pickle. A little bit of a pickle-rooney here. I wonder which Pokemon's faster. Ludicolo 130, Arctovish can get up to 229. Yeah. Ludicolo is going to be faster than Arctovish. It'd be kind of weird if Britt put speed into his Pokemon he brought for Trick Room. Jeff could probably get away with a Giga Drain or something like that. Some type of health restore move and really mess up Arctovish. But, yeah, really good. Arctovish uses Freeze Dry and it one-shots. Yeah, I think that's 4 times effective. Freeze Dry is the move I was thinking of. I think I said it correctly at the start. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame, but Arctovish is really tanky, and I think that losing Ludicolo there is totally fine. You then probably send out something like Pelipper, or if you're really confident, you can send out your Latios. Or Latias. Right? Instead, he sends out Barraskewda. Barraskewda pretty fast. Pretty fast without water. Without rain, I'm sorry. I don't know how scary he becomes without rain. Yeah, I don't really know. This is definitely Britt thinking, right? Jeff could possibly be thinking of baiting out something while switching to Pelipper, but I don't know. But he does. This is what happens. Crunch coming in. And dealing an okay amount of damage, 22%. But in comes Ferrothorn to eat the Giga Drain from Comfey. And now we got a Steel type out against the Fairy type. However, I think we've seen 3 moves from Ferrothorn. No, just 2. Body Press and Leech Seed. Maybe we can expect another Leech Seed coming in from Ferrothorn. Which is exactly... Oh, no, Gyro Ball coming in. So there is a Steel move on here. Huh. I feel like earlier it would have been better to use a Steel move instead of Body Press. But I forget when that moment happened. Anyway. Yeah. Rotom-Heat, really good. Probably the scariest Pokemon around at the moment. Because it does handle Ferrothorn and it does handle Mega Swampert. So if it's Hidden Power Grass, which is what I think it is. I don't know. It didn't kill. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what Hidden Power would be super effective against Swampert, but just not 4 times effective. I've never done this before, so now we're going to. Swampert is only weak to grass. So for it to be super effective, it had to be grass. Okay. So if you know it's Hidden Power Grass, you can probably get a safe switch into Pelipper. But you then become 4 times weak to Volt Switch. Alright, sending in Latios makes a lot of sense. Yeah, there's no way Jeff would have switched into Swampert again. He just wouldn't risk it. So what moves have we seen on Latios? Psychic? And that's it. And I think that this Pokemon is choiced. So. Brutal. That's really unfortunate that for Jeff, for the Draco Meteor to come in onto the Comfey. Really good play from Britt. And now Jeff's gonna switch probably back into Ferrothorn. A second Trick Room being used. However, Ferrothorn's still the fastest. Now Ferrothorn's the fastest Pokemon. If I'm Ferrothorn, I think I Gyro Ball. This is what I didn't understand why we weren't... Or maybe you don't Gyro Ball because you no longer deal damage because you're no longer slower. Out comes Rotom-Heat. Yeah. So let's see. Now, if you're Britt and you're Jeff, the last time Rotom-Heat was out, Jeff switched to Latios, which is really good. So do you do that again? Does Rotom-Heat have anything that's particularly good against Latios? Oh my god. I can't believe it. I think Jeff got a little bit too high in his head. If I'm Jeff, I guess the line of logic Jeff followed was, I switched into Latios last time. There's no way he thinks I switched into Latios again. But really, I think the correct mindset should have been, what happens if I bring in Latios again? Like, what does Rotom-Heat do? And to be honest, it probably has a Fire-type move. It probably has Volt Switch and it has Hidden Power. Is the fourth move really gonna kill my Latios? And I think the answer to that question would be no. Which is why I didn't even go down that route of him switching in Swampert again. I think that was a bit of a misread. And I think a totally reasonable option from Britt. He loses nothing hitting that Latios. Because then he just switches in Comfey again. To eat whatever Latios has. Nice, good switch from Jeff to put in Barraskewda. Barraskewda now in its last turn of Rain and Trick Room is out of here. Maybe Barraskewda deals some heavy damage. This has been a long, bloody game for Jeff. He does have a few Pokemon on Britt's team weakened. A 22% Arctovish, a 29% Weezing, and a 72% Comfey. You know, some stuff is pretty weak. Oh, Liquidation coming in hot, taking out at least one of these Pokemon. Britt still has an untouched Kartana? What is this? Kartana. Carvana is the pre-evolution of Sharpedo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he's got an untouched Slowbro and an untouched Kartana. And Rain coming in for 3 more turns. This Barraskewda is going to be a problem. It's got Crunch on it, so that's going to be pretty nasty, honestly. But out comes Kartana, Grass type. What do we do about this? Grass and Steel. Let's take a look. What is Kartana weak to? It's a very fast Pokemon, not even close to being as fast as Barraskewda. So, if Barraskewda's got a good move on it that can handle Kartana, it probably handles it. Kartana's weak to Fire and Fighting. Now, maybe Latios is the Pokemon with the Fire-type move on it. I can believe it. Latios actually doesn't have a whole lot to worry about on Britt's team anymore. Close Combat! Let's go, Barraskewda. Coming in hot with the Fighting-type move. Really good that it has it. Doesn't have to worry about these defenses because Barraskewda is going to outspeed everything. This might be the turnaround Jeff needs because Kartana was one of the 200% HP Pokemon that Britt had left. Now we know Barraskewda's got that Crunch. We know. And it's going to hit this Slowbro hard. This Slowbro's got no move that's going to outspeed Crunch. So what Jeff could do is he could Crunch and then Britt switches into a different Pokemon. But like I said before, all 3 of Britt's remaining Pokemon are very weak. Jeff also has a 100% Pokemon being Pelipper. So things looking pretty good for Jeff. And big rip. He got rid of Barraskewda in the future because he's looking fucking filthy right now. Big rip. So, I think you Crunch. You have nothing to lose with the Crunch. Nothing. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that goes down to Crunch. Here comes Crunch. Trick Room comes in again, but now what happens? What do you do here? There's one thing left. So Britt, how did Barraskewda lose 2 times the XP? Ooh, the sick read, sending in Ice Beam to handle the Latios coming in. Latios actually dead. No matter what. Unless Latios has a speed move, the Latios switch was kind of bold. Ice Beam again gets resisted. Rain's back. Trick Room only for 2 turns remaining. And Ice Beam didn't do a lot to Pelipper. Slowbro only has 1 move left, and it's Scald. Gets the burn? Oh, man. Lucky. Actually, lucky. Britt Scald burns Jeff's Pelipper. Jeff's Scald does not burn Britt's Slowbro, however. Slowbro gonna be alive for 1 more turn, and it has a powered up Scald, but Scald only dealt 21%. He uses Ice Beam for 22. Jeff uses Scald again to take out Slowbro. It is now a 4v3 in Jeff's favor. Both these guys have super weak Pokemon. Yeah, Rotom-Heat, however, is going to be a Pokemon Jeff's going to have to deal with. If I'm Jeff here, though, if I'm Jeff, I sacrifice Pelipper. I roost, if I'm being honest. I roost or I do an attack and I get rid of Pelipper. Or if he wants to keep Pelipper alive, switch into Latios. But Latios is a really good answer to Weezing, but I do think that that's kind of the answer here. Is he needs to be able to kill Rotom-Heat, which has only shown Hidden Power Grass. In comes Arctovish, eats the Scald with the Water Absorb, and gets healed to full. Actually kind of crazy. That would have been... I would have roosted or done like a wind attack, but dang, there goes Pelipper eating another Freeze Dry. Arctovish claiming its 2nd kill, it's 3v3. Barraskewda probably coming out. It has to, and it's got to use Close Combat. Close Combat's gonna hurt everything it hits. No! That's crazy. Alright, well, Latios, what are you gonna do? We've seen Draco Meteor and we've seen Psychic. The problem is, if Latios misses the Draco Meteor, it dies for nothing. Maybe you just Psychic? Maybe you just Psychic. So that... Oh, he uses Healing Wish. Oh, nice. Okay. Eats the Close Combat. Barraskewda's got 2 turns. Can just Close Combat a 2nd time. I actually think it's looking pretty good for your boy Jeff. If I'm being real here. Aqua Jets. Wow, Britt doesn't switch out? Interesting. Maybe it was trying to look to get a burn. Because Will-O-Wisp did exist. Now, what do you do here? I think Rotom-Heat is neutral to water, but you want to be really careful about using water. Yeah, you want to be a little bit careful because you could just heal up the Arctovish again. And I think Close Combat is... Oh, my God, Jeff. Come on. What did I just say? Anyway, down goes Arctovish with Close Combat. It looks like it's all over. Aqua Jet probably just gonna... Or Liquidation gonna handle it. Rotom-Heat is weak to water. So it is over. It's actually over. Liquidation sealing the deal. I guess he had nothing to lose with Liquidation because Close Combat was going to kill it no matter what. Good job for Jeff. That game was long. That game was long, and it was bloody. Jeff was bleeding by the halfway point of the game, and he turned it around with some really sick...